Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, long intro today, so if you just want to look at the puzzle, jump ahead 5 or 6 minutes and I'll be starting the puzzle there. I do want to say a couple of things. First of all, about the construction noise. Now, somebody very kindly offered to buy me noise-cancelling headphones on the assumption that all my complaints about the construction are because it puts me off. The odd thing is it doesn't. I thought it was annoying viewers, and I was apologising for it as a result and getting annoyed with it on that basis. But I'm actually told that since the first few days when they were using industrial strength drills and hammers, it's not actually very noticeable on the video. So if that continues, hurrah, I can completely ignore it because, well, either because I'm very focused or very selfish or virtually sociopathic. Anyway, I'm going to pay no attention to the construction noise from now on, and that's resolved. Tell me, obviously, if it becomes a nuisance. Now, secondly, I ended up having a moan, I suppose, yesterday about people who were getting angry with the bad scanning. And really, I should just suck it up and try and scan better, me and all the other stormtroopers. And I appreciate that. However, I was absolutely touched by all the comments yesterday, which were very supportive of what we're doing with our genuine live solves, which include human mistakes and dithering that shouldn't have to be there. So, A, I shall try and get better. B, I was really, really grateful. If you made a comment yesterday about that, thank you. It warmed my heart, which maybe makes me not quite the sociopath after all. Anyway, now, moving on to what is coming up and available. Arrow app. The Arrow Sudoku app is available. It joins our stable of apps. It's getting absolutely rave reviews. There are people who have said it's unputdownable. They just move on to the next puzzle as soon as they've finished each one. They can't help it, which couldn't be a better commendation, frankly. We're very pleased with that. On Patreon, we have published today not only a crossword solve that Simon dared me to do to see if I could beat the 10-minute barrier. It's rare every year that a Times cryptic crossword takes me more than 10 minutes. I did record one the other week where it took me about 15, and that felt bad for me. But you can see on Patreon, if you're a member of that, how I did. Now, also on Patreon, we have included the 1-year anniversary Discord server pack, which has, I want to say 57 puzzles, and I don't know if I've just suddenly plucked that number. It's somewhere around there. Maybe hints have got into my head. 57 puzzles or so. And the stories of constructors' journeys, how they got into it, what they considered were important, whether they watched us and learnt about variant Sudoku that way. I mean, there really is some great stuff, not just Sudokus, all sorts of other puzzles as well. And again, really some heartwarming comments. Very interesting read. So that's in a Patreon post today that's free. Now, we are coming up to the end of the month, and on the first day of every month, we drop a new Patreon reward for those people who are members of the Patreon. And this month, it's going to be a Sudoku hunt based on, not a very long one, but based on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which you may or may not know about. Simon doesn't, which is quite interesting. But if you have any interest in that, or indeed any interest in Sudoku hunts in general, on the 1st of June, we are going to be publishing that on Patreon for $2 and above Patreons. And then there'll be a solution video at some point during June for $3 and above Patreons. That's how the tier system works. So do look out for that. We are encouraging as many people to join Patreon as possible. And when we get to 5,000 members, we are going to publish another Sudoku hunt, a longer one, although not too difficult. It really is appealing. It's a murder mystery called The Roman Tragedy, I think, curated by Alison No Feet McGee, but with 7 or 8 different constructors. Really is great stuff. So when we get to 5,000 Patreons, that'll come out free. So do look out for that. So tons of stuff coming. And of course, yesterday, the podcast, episode 2, we put that on the channel. So loads to listen to, loads to watch. That'll also be coming out, the podcast, on the various podcast platforms as soon as they allow it. So that is 5 minutes into the video. Now let's get on to this puzzle and have a look at Disjointed Nights by Memory Store. Could be Memory Store, I suppose. I don't know how he prefers it, but it's a debut puzzle. He credits Panthera with sort of giving him some advice to change the puzzle around, although this is still, well, it's a fun puzzle now apparently, so it sounds approachable. I've no idea. There's lots of given digits, all sorts of different numbers in the grid. That's quite exciting. Do give it a go. It's the first link under the video. And the rule set, now there are two things to forget here that I probably will. There's a knight's move restriction, so cells that far apart from each other, 2 and then 1 in any direction, cannot be identical. There is a disjoint subset rule, which means that identical cells cannot appear within the same position in the 3x3 boxes. Now that means that no two of those cells, which are all the top left in their 3x3 boxes, can be the same. And that means that effectively these highlighted cells are a region of 1 to 9. So that kind of adds a fourth dimension to the rows, columns and boxes. So my scanning will go all to pot. I mean, with that and the knight's move, that's 5 dimensions at least. Now there's 2 little killer clues. So a clue outside the grid shows the sum of the diagonal, which obviously can include repeats, as we can see here. So 24 is the sum of those cells. That's the rules. Do give it a go on the link under the video. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. And look at all these pairs that we've been given. Right, and okay, I can see something straight away. I highlighted the top left cells. If I'd highlighted the right middle cells, you would see that we have 4, 6, 9, 1, 2, 8, 7, and 3. So this one has to be a 5, and that's on a palindrome. So that's a nice start. If you can spot that in your scanning, happy days. I'm going to have a quick look at this diagonal, which now has 6, 12, 15 on it. These other 3, they have to add up to 9. And look, they're in the same position in terms of the disjoint subset. So they add up to 9 and they're all different. And I'm going to colour them because I want to remember this, but I don't think that tells us if we know whether they're 1, 3 or 5. I'm trying to remember all my rules. Now, I don't think the knight's move has come into play yet, so that could be 4. Oh no, hang on. This one can't be 2 or 3. I don't know. I want to use that 24, but I'm not sure I can yet. Either of those could be a 1, for instance. It's not obvious to me. Let's see what else we've got going on. Actually, having started with this disjoint subset, I'm not sure that these are in great positions in terms of doing other things in this puzzle. I mean, 9 could go anywhere there, 1 could go anywhere there. The palindrome doesn't have much effect. Oh, did I mention these grey lines are palindromes? I don't think I did. It's written in the rules, but I might have forgotten to tell you, and that's very embarrassing, that these grey lines are palindromes, and therefore they have the same digit at one end as another. That's how I was able to fill in those 2 5s. Because they're so short, they don't really mean anything other than that the ends are the same. Oh, and that is interesting though, isn't it? Because look, 6 of them start in the same positions. So this can't be 4, 1, 7, 9 or 2. It also can't be 3 or 6 because this palindrome end prevents that. So it's 5 or 8 on both ends of that palindrome. This sees 5, 9, 8, 1, 2. The end of the palindrome sees 4 or 7, so that's 3 or 6. This one must have the same sort of thing. 5, 4, 6, 9, 8. The end of the palindrome sees 1, 7, so 2 or 3. And here, 4, 1, 7, 5, 6. The end of the palindrome sees 2 and 3, so that's 8 or 9. Now, Does that mean one of these has to be 8? I don't think so. Does it mean this has to be 9? No, definitely not. Right. I think I'm thinking about the wrong things here. So, what about these positions then? Are they telling us anything? Yeah, where's 7 going to be in one of those positions in that disjoint subset? Not in the bottom row and not in either of any of those places. So 7 must be in one end of this, well, in one of these palindromes. Let me highlight this set again. I can't believe it would be different if I highlighted the top right cells, but maybe it would. So we've got, well, we don't know, we haven't got anything specific, but 7's up there. 8 is likely to be up here. 3, it's not so straightforward. Let's look at the top rights then, see if they're telling a different story, which seems unlikely. I'm not seeing this clearly yet. I'm really not seeing how we're meant to go about this puzzle. Because that could be 8. So what's not? 4, 5, 1, 7. Right, 5. Where does 5 go in these places? And that's in one of those two cells. But oh no, hang on. Right. No, 5 can't be there because there's a 5 in the box. Let me just check that. Where does 5 go in this disjoint subset? Not in column 3 where there's already a 5. Not in any of these pencil marked places, which, oh yes, look, that one does have a possibility. Right, that's what I was missing. That can't be a 5, that one can, and that one can. So one of those two is a 5. So there's no giveaways here. Am I going to have to go back to this 5, 1, 3? And these add up to 9. They all have to be different. What does it mean? How can I use the knight's move? What am I missing? What on earth am I missing? 8. That's no use. There's some way to get into this and I can't see it. So despite all these given digits, I'm absolutely getting stuck here. Maybe I need to look at one of the places, somewhere like here can see the 2 by a knight's move. And it can see 4, 6 and 5. No, that doesn't look like it's useful. What about bottom rights? So this central one sees 1, 7, 4, 9. This cell, row 6, column 9, it sees 9, 1, 6, 2 and 3 by Sudoku. Now it does see one of these 5s. Wherever 5 is in column 9, it can't be here. So, in fact, where does 5 go in this subset now? It can't be there. It can't be in column 9. It can't be in column 3. So 5 ends up in one of these two. This is weird. Let's highlight them again and have another look. We just don't have any repeated digits to tell us things. This can't be 3 or 2, but it has to contribute to 9. This can't be 1 or 4. And this can't be 5. That's not so useful. So if it was 2, 3 and 4, we'd have 4 here. That cannot be a 3-2 pair. Yes, that's quite exciting. This group cannot add up to 9 by being 2, 3, 4, because the 4 would have to be here. This cell sees 2 and 3. So it must be a 4. this cannot be... No, sorry, these two between them cannot be 2 and 3 because they both see that cell by the knight's move, and that would leave no candidate there. So it's not 4, 2, 3, so it does include a 1. So one of those two is a 1. Now, can it be 1, 2, 6? Or is it 1, 3, 5, which actually feels less likely? Let's say it was 1, 3, 5. No, oh yeah, it could be 1 there, 3 here, 5 here. That would make this a 2 because it would see the 3. Oh, well, what are we down to? 1, 3, 5 or 1, 2, 6? 1, 3, 5 or 1, 2, 6. Oh, is this possible? There's something going on here. I can't quite see it. If that was a 5, it would see this cell. Oh, look. Oh no, if that was a 5, it couldn't be 1, 2, 5. Because there'd be no one of these cells you could put a 5 in. So if that's a 5, it's 1, 2, 6. That would be 6. That would be 2. That would be 1. Ah, that is possible. So if that's a 5, that's 6. That's 2. That's 1. Now the alternative to this being a 5 in column 9, which makes that a 5, is that this is a 5. Then this couldn't be a 5, but I don't think that's telling me anything. 1, 2, 5. Oh, look, if that's a... Okay, let's take out these pencil marks because they're not actually helping at the moment. If that was a 2, none of these could be a 2. Then there'd be 1, 3, 5. Alternatively, if that's a 3, none of these can be a 3. So then they're 1, 2, 6. This is doing my head in. So if that's a 3, then again they go 6. Because that sees both the... Oh no, it doesn't see that 1. That's nonsense. If that's a 3, and we therefore have 1, 2, 6, this sees the 2, so it would be 1 or 6. No, that is not... If that's the 3, this becomes a 6, and that makes that a 6. So if that's a 3, and we have 6, 1, 2, this can't be 6 or 2. That is 1. And then we have 2 and 6. Seeing that... Oh no, that's a 6. Right. So if that is a 3 at the top, that's 1, that's 2, and that's 6. Now if this is a 2, and it therefore can't be 1, 2, 6, it must be 1, 3, 5. And if that's a 2... This is so complicated. That becomes 1 or 3, that becomes 3 or 5, and that becomes 1 or 5. There must be, yes. If that's a 5, then it's 1, 2, 6, because there's nowhere to put a 5. It's something to do with this. I cannot quite see how it works. It's so interesting. That must be the way in, and I can't find out how the door opens. How embarrassing. There's got to be a way here. Come on, Mark, think about it. If that's 7, then we get a 7 here. If those are 7, Ah, we get a 7 here. The only positions for 7 in column 2 are those two. That's weird, isn't it? So does it work as well if this is, say, 3? No, then we get 2 positions for 3 down here. This can't be 8, because where would 8 go in column 8? There we go. Good grief. 8 can't go here or here because of regular Sudoku, and here because of the diagonal. So that is a 9 pair. And I don't think that helps anything else because it doesn't have a knock-on effect on here, but it does get some 9s in the grid. So let's try and use that. That 9 sees those positions. That one sees this one. So 9 ends up in one of those two and one of these two. Can we use the disjoint subset anywhere? I'm using... Yes, we can. That sees that cell. Right. So 9 can go in there. This one's not usable on the disjoint yet. 9 is in one of those two cells. They're also not usable. And then 9 in the top row is now in the top left corner. So down here it's in one of those two. That gives me, oops, that's not what I'm trying to do. That gives me an X-wing with 9s there. That uses up the 9s for the bottom 2 rows. So 9 in row 7 has to be there. So that places all the 9s apart from this little X-wing, and the disjoint subset and the knight's move just don't affect those. But I've got some 9s in the grid. Does this 17 have to include a 9? No, it can be 7, 6 and 4. But it can't be 7, 6 and 4 because this can't be a 7 because of the work we did with the 7s earlier, which finally pays off. So there has to be a 9 in that, and we know where that is. That's there. And that lets us finish off the 9s. Now, these two add up to 8, but there are 3 combinations, and I don't really have much clue about that. Haven't got anywhere near resolving. Oh, those 3 add up to 9, but it was useful that one of them wasn't an 8. Can we do anything else like this? Look, if they were 6, then 6 would have to be here in one of those two. Not that helpful. There, obviously, it already is. Ooh, that would put 6 here. And that's impossible. Right, if those were 6, where does 6... And we've got a 6 there. Where does 6 go in box 6? All of these cells are seen by either knight's moves or straight Sudoku. So it wouldn't be in any of those. It would have to be here. And then there's nowhere for 6 to go in box 9. Again, because... Oh, can it be here? Have I ruled it wrongly out of this cell? 6 there. I did rule it out. Why did I dare to rule it out? 6 there, 2 there, 1 there. Does make 9. It does work. Now I'm scared. That just means 6 there, 6 there. 6 now can't be on this palindrome. So it would have to be here. I think I may have been premature with my pencil marking down there. I'm not trusting it. 6 in one of those. That would... Because of the position of there, 6 can't go in those two cells, so it must go there. In fact, now we're getting it all placed there. And now there's nowhere for 6 down here. Yes, it doesn't work. So maybe I was right in that 6 couldn't be here. Oh yeah, it was something to do with 2s and 3s there, wasn't it? Yeah, right. So 6 can't go there. So now I'm determining that 6 on this palindrome places 6 there and kills 6 in box 9. So that is a 3 palindrome, and that is really useful because that makes this a 2 palindrome. This cell becomes a 5. We can now fill in 1 and 3. That little killer clue is done. This can't be a 5 because it sees that one, so those are 8s. Now we are firing, surely. So an 8 up there. This has become a 4 by just regular Sudoku. 2, 5, 4, 9. One of those is a 3, not that one on the knight's move. So that's a 3 by Sudoku. There's a 3. Keep going. 3s. No, 3s have stopped, and even the disjoint subset won't fix those ones. So we're going to need some other clue there. Now 6 in one of these two positions, 6 in one of these two. 6 in the top row has to be somewhere there. Maybe 6 is a daft digit to look at. Let's have a look at 2 instead. 2, 2, the lily white boys. One of those is a 2. That's not. That 2 says that's not. So 2 here goes into one of those positions. Up at the top, it's in one of those 2. That puts it over here. One of those 3, and I've run out of steam on 2s. 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. Let's have a look down this column. 4, 9, 1, 2, 3, 7. This can't be a 5 because there's already 1 there. So that is 6 or 8. This can't be a 5 because there's 1 in the box. Oh, 5, 5. That was how to do that. Just the ordinary way. Let's take out the pencil mark 5 there. Oh, and I had 2 5s pencil marked in this column. So what was going on with that? I must have had a reason why this couldn't be 5. The disjoint subset? Yes. Okay, so 5 is up here. Crikey, it's difficult to follow my earlier pencil marking. Right, maybe I should be using the disjoint subset a bit more. Let's have a look at these top rights. 5, 9, 8, 3, 4. So this one becomes a 6. And then we've got 2. These 2 are 1 and 7. Yes, we know which way round they are. That is straightforward. So that's not a 7. So the 7 in column 2 is here. That's not a 7. The 7 in column 1, obviously on the other end of the palindrome. What an intriguing puzzle this has been. Right, 1 and 8 to go in. Oh, look, palindrome. That's really the simple way to do that. 8 there. 5, 4, 3. Is this 1 or 7? Oh, this is a naked single 2. So that's 1 or 7 as well. In fact, that's a 7. That's a 1. 7 and 4 in the final column. Now, bottom right, 4, 7, 1, 9, 5. 8 can't be in that column, so that's an 8. That, I don't know, about 2, 3, 6 down the first column. This is a 4, 5, 6 triple, but this can't be 5 or 6 on the knight's move, so that's a 4. 6 and 5 there, maybe they're disambiguated. 5 and 6 also here. Yes, 5 looks up at that cell. So we know, oh, what happened there? Went into colouring. Sorry, let's get rid of all our colours. We don't need them anymore. Right, 6 and 5 there. That sorts out the 5 and 6 here with the knight's move as well. 2 goes in there. What are these central cells all about? 2, 5, 8, 3, 7, 9. This must be the 1. And then we've got a 6, 4 pair that I'm struggling to see why either of them can't be. We've got 1 and 8 up here. They go straight in. I think we're just finishing off now. 8, 3, 7, 5, 9, 1. That's 2 or 6. That is a 4. Naked single. 6, 2. That does finish this as a 4. We've got 2, 8, and 6 here. Never mind that. We've got 7, 4, and 6 in column 4, they're much easier for me. A 2, 5 pair there. Ah, this 17 diagonal. 2, 9, 6 or 5, 9, 3. I don't know yet. That's become a 4 though. That's either 3 or 6, so that's a 1, 2, 3 or 6. That can't be 6. Oh, 6 and 8 here. Can't see them on the nights. Oh, but on the disjoint. Yes, there's a 6 there. Whew, have to keep remembering all the rules. 5, 2 and 3 there. Now again, the disjoint, keep remembering all the rules. It can't be a 5. No. I've looked at those cells on the disjoint. Let's have a look at these ones, which can't be 1, 2, 4, 7, 3, 6 or 9. They are 5 and 8. That is very easy. That was the way to do it. 2, 5 fixed there. Now I've got a lovely deadly pattern here that is going to be resolved either by knight's move or by disjoint subset, because it ain't resolved by Sudoku. So 3 there, looking at that cell. That'll do it. That'll do it if I'm in the right mode. 6 and 3, 2 and 3 and 6 and hang on. No. I filled in the wrong possibilities down here, but never mind. It was a triple deadly pattern, but it is resolved now. I should have put in 2 and 6 along the bottom row. I think that's right. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's because it was. Right, let's take them all out again and try and pencil mark these things correctly. 3 and 6, 2 and 3. This is 2 and 6, not 3 and 6. Right. So the disjoint doesn't work. They aren't seen by a knight's move. One of these must be seen by a knight's move to disambiguate this puzzle. Must be. I'm totally not seeing it yet. 2 or 3 touching those. 3 or 6. I'm sure these are definitely all... Wow, what am I missing here? Can that see a 2 or a 3 on a knight's move somewhere? Can this see a 2 or a 6? I'm actually going to highlight them. What am I doing wrong here? Oh dear. Oh, the 17 clue. There we go. Excuse me. There we go. And we are finished there. And that was a right horlicks of a puzzle. Sorry about that. That's better. So, what a finish. That's a nice puzzle by Memory Store. Sorry if I botched it several ways, including struggling with the break-in, struggling with the scanning, not understanding the disjoint sets, and messing up the ending. But there we go. That's the beauty of live solves. And that puzzle is definitely worth bringing to you. You can explain how you did it better than me, and I will bow to you. Thank you very much for watching, and see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.